Hello.
Good afternoon, respected everyone. This is Dr. Simran from Vijayawada Hospital, Mumbai. Thanking you very much for giving me this prestigious platform to speak over here. So, this story is about a young girl whose heart was broken by the novel coronavirus, COVID-19. So, let's see what her story is about. So, this is a 4-year young girl who presented to us with absolute asymptomatic history and a short history of 4 days of fever with gradually increasing breathing difficulty. She also had history of pink sputum coming out of her mouth since the day she presented to us. On examination, she was pale looking, having severe respiratory distress. Her extremities were cold with poor peripheral pulsation. She was tachypneic, tachycardic, having hypotension and hypoxia. So her heart rate was 160 per minute, RR was 70 per minute, BP was 70 by 46 mmHg. Her saturation was 82% on room air, which increased to 88% after 10 liter of oxygen with NRM. So after stabilization through fluid resuscitation, she was started on inotropic support in the form of adrenaline and dopamine. She was also intubated for the impending respiratory failure. After intubation, her endotracheal tube and as well the rise tube were full of the blood, especially after suctioning. Her COVID RT-PCR was negative. Other lab investigations revealed deranged PTINR, and inflammatory markers, when evaluated, revealed a high level of interleukin 6 with a value of 1969 picogram per ml. Her D-dimer were more than 2000. Serum ferritin was 992 nanogram per ml, and prop-I was 140 nanogram per ml. So, multisystem inflammatory syndrome in the children was suspected, and a COVID antibody was sent for the evaluation, which turned out to be positive. Her ECG revealed non-specific T-wave changes in B5-P6 with T-wave inversion. So, on moving the probe from base to apex sweep, this is how a normal view looks like. So when we're going from base to apex, there is a uniform mobility or uniform ventricular contraction throughout. However, in this case, this was the echo. So when carefully evaluating, we can see that at the beginning there was a good ventricular function. In the mid, the ventricular function has come down, and again, it is been picking up when we are going to most apical area. So with the suspicion of broken heart syndrome, otherwise known as stress cardiomyopathy or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, the treatment was started in the form of steroid and IVIG. Inotropic supports were changed to dopamine after tapering adrenaline and dopamine. The child started responding with the improvement in hemodynamics and as well as in the lab parameters. We were able to successfully extubate her after 12 days, and she was started on oral enalapril. Repeat echo before discharge showed normal ventricular function. So what this Takotsubo cardiomyopathy is? This was the first described by Dot et al. From Japan in 1991. Basically, the Takotsubo stand for a term which was used for the fishing pot with round bottom and narrow neck used for trapping the octopus. So this Takotsubo cardiomyopathy is predominantly seen in females and usually precipitated by an emotional or physical stress. Various pathophysiology has been encountered, like coronary vasospasm, microvascular dysfunction, catecholamine surge, etc. There has also been seen a temporal association with viral infection, and on histological evidence, there had been seen myocardial infiltration of the inflammatory tissue. So there are various forms of the Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, that is apical, midventricular, basal, and focal. So what happens in apical type is there occurs the apical ballooning of the myocardium. In the midventricular, as in this case, there happens the dilatation of the mid portion of the ventricle. In basal, it is the basal part which is being dilated, and in the focal, there is a regional ballooning of the myocardium. So Takotsubo cardiomyopathy has been diagnosed based on the Mayo criteria, which has points of transient akinesia or dyskinesia of the left ventricular, apical, and mid-ventricular segments with regional wall motion abnormalities extending beyond a single epicardial vascular distribution. Absence of obstructive coronary disease or angiographic evidence of acute plaque rupture new echocardiographic abnormalities either in the form of ST segment elevation or T wave inversion, and absence of recent significant head trauma with intracranial bleeding, pheochromocytoma, obstructive epicardial coronary disease, myocarditis, etc. So the treatment involves the supportive care and as well the treatment of the underlying cause. Usually it has a good prognosis with the self-resolution within few days to weeks. This is extremely rare in children. Although COVID-related Takotsubo cardiomyopathy has been reported in adults, however, this is probably the earliest case of the one recorded in children with multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for a